Hello, everyone. So, episode 5 of the final season of The Boys is here, and when the previous episode was filler, this is somehow extra filler. Like, I don't know why they're doing this. I think they only have 3 episodes left, but this one was just like, it's basically a clip show. That's all it is. So, you have several stories happening here, basically, what's happening on their off time for each of the main characters. We have Firecracker, Sister Sage, Terror the Dog, Soldier Boy, and Black Noir. So, Firecracker's entire narrative is absolutely great. It's fantastic. Like before, where Ashley's second half stated how she doesn't actually believe in any of this stuff, turns out she did. And she gets a call from a reverend, and while Homelander's basically dictating that he wants to be God, he wants a Homelander Bible, all the crazy stuff, she gets a call from her former reverend, and it turns out she was deeply religious, and the reverend actually helped her a great deal. He even gave her like hot meals. She was very religious, and this mattered to her, and you could see that she's breaking by dealing with everything with Homelander, and religion played a huge role. So I kind of liked how they played it here, where she literally has to portray everything she ever believed in. This is because Homelander is trying to bring in every single religious sector under the Democratic American Party, the basically mega church that he's running right now. And this church refuses, and it happened to be part of Firecracker's congregation. And she's forced to betray them, and it profoundly hurts her. It just completely destroys everything that she has, and she goes full into Homelander, and it doesn't pay off at the end of the day. It's actually pretty gruesome, but we all knew what was going to happen at the end of this. She truly did love Homelander as this dogmatic figure, even if she didn't fully embrace him, but we all know what was going to happen. I won't say what, but you can predict, like, we kind of already knew who was going to live and who was going to die. Now with Black Noir's story, it's just complete crap. Basically, he's been moonlighting, or he's been going to this theater with the disgraced J.J. Abrams clone, and he's been trying to gain, I guess, a different type of path in his life. He doesn't want to be in the Seven entirely, and he does want to pursue acting in other fields. And the director basically just gives him advice about what he's dealing with. He doesn't flat out say it, but the writers, they're not really good with intricate storytelling, so they kind of just say, okay, what do we need to say here? We'll just use the Deep as the example, even though the Deep is the one who's screwing him over. So he tells him, you just have to upstage him, and that's exactly what he does. He upstages the Deep. He goes to Ashley's husband during the podcast and tells them, hey, we want to show that Homelander is this godlike figure. Have him perform a real miracle. Have him actually touch me, and then I will show that I can talk and I can fly. And it actually does say, he does get on board with this. He said, that's actually a really good idea. And the Deep is just so angry about him being upstaged that he follows him to the theater, which you would assume that he would be a lot more subtle about it. But the guy just walks into the theater afterwards, talks to the director. The Deep overhears him, and he kills him by shoving an eel up his anus when he goes to the toilet. And it's gruesome. It's just horrible. But this is like the one guy in his life that he cared about, who believed in him, that he can be greater things than just, mute Black Noir clone. Regardless, then the Deep literally tells him if he wants to remain alive, essentially, he'll fall in line and do exactly what he says, or he'll tell Homelander that he was moonlighting at this theater, even though he wasn't supposed to. It's basically just so... It's just like, whatever. This could have been summarized in a few sentences. And then we have Sister Sage, which is by far the worst one. Like, in the previous season, I thought it was a pretty cool idea that she just wanted to see if she could accomplish this, just to prove everyone wrong. She definitely has an ego to herself. But she also confirms that the grandmother's story was absolutely true, which is bizarre because she had no reason to tell the truth, but I guess she was. So her grandmother was someone she truly loved. Her parents gave her V, made her smart, and they couldn't stand her, so they dumped her on her grandmother, and her grandmother embraced her gift. So she tries to get Ashley on her side to use her psychic abilities on Soldier Boy, because even though she can read Homelander, she can't read Soldier Boy, and because of that, she needs to figure out what he's going to do, and if he's actually going to do what's necessary to kill Homelander. But her entire grand plan about all of this, and I I really hope that she's kidding here, because it's one of the dumbest things you could possibly imagine from apparently the world's smartest person, is that she just wants everyone dead. She literally wants all the humans on the planet to die. She wants the virus released to kill all the soups. Then after they're all dead, she wants the humans to kill each other, because once they find out that all the soups are dead, they're going to kill each other. And then once everyone is dead, she'll just sit in her bunker and read. I am dead serious. That is her grand plan. Like, it's psychopathic and it's stupid. Like, it makes no sense. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit in my bunker and just read. I'm like, lady, as the smartest person on the planet, you should know that if humans do not interact with other humans within a certain amount of time, it can lead to a whole host of problems. Like, we've seen this in shows like I Am Legend. Literally, like, I assume that movie is present here because, well, everything else seems to be, but you would assume she would be aware that if humans do not interact with other humans after a certain amount of time, it leads to depression, it leads to hallucinations, it leads to a whole array of psychological problems. But she's going to be the odd one out? No, it's just the dumbest plan you can think of. And even her psychic, Ashley and her psychic pal is just like, she's crazy. She's completely stupid. At first, she's on board. Like, Ashley's other half is like, yeah, I'm on board. We have to figure out what's going on here. Let's help her. But then the second she tells her their plan, she's just like, she's crazy. It's just the dumbest plan you can possibly imagine. Terror is also, Terror is just like an adorable little scene where everyone is kind of showing their hearts out about stuff. Like, we find out with Mother's Milk that he's basically free. It's like that episode of Family Guy when Joe decides to end himself. It's the same situation here. Mother Milk thinks that he's already dead, and literally he's never slept better. He has a new lease on life because he believes that his ex-wife and his daughter would be better off without him, and things will just be better like this. Like, he'll do what is necessary. And Billy's starting to look at him like, what the hell? You have a daughter, you have a person you love, you should be living for them. And you can see the walls are coming down. Again, the writing in The Boys is very, very obvious. It's never something subtle, it's always nail on the hammer. And we can see that more and more. Hugh is trying to convince Butcher that we need to give the V1 to Kimiko and Starlight, saying how much he loves her, and if it was Becca, that he would do the same. But he said he killed Becca and it was his fault. All the soups need to die, and all from Tara's perspective. Frenchie is also having a problem with Kimiko because he wants to give her everything, a normal life, a dog, which she desperately wants, but he can't even take care of plants. And again, this guy's supposed to be the smart person. He makes a chocolate souffle, and he literally dumps it in the trash right beside Terror. And anyone who knows anything about dogs knows they go into the trash. So Terror goes into the trash, starts eating the chocolate, and gets basically an attack. He's an old dog, and they get a first aid kit. Thankfully, Terror does survive. But that one moment, Billy decides, you know what? If we get V1 Huey, we're going to give it to Kimiko and Starlight, because losing Terror, that's literally the only thing he's fighting for right now. I would think Terror is like above Ryan at this point. Like, he literally was going to send Ryan to the wolves. But Terror, that's off limits. So when he saw Terror was about to die, yeah. But still, like, Frenchie, like, it's just like, what the hell's wrong with people? So what's next? For some reason, we don't get a Deep story. I'm not really sure. I think it's just to show that how unimportant the Deep actually is. He has to share it with Black Noir, and Black Noir gets its own title card. But definitely Firecracker takes the cake here. Her entire just having to sell everything to Homelander's entire ego trip, and it eventually just ends with her losing everything, is pretty awesome in this sense, because it shows what can happen if you devote to someone who just doesn't give a damn about you. But with Soldier Boy's story, it's completely worthless. It literally doesn't move the dial any further. So they're hunted for V1. They talk to Stan Edgar. He still doesn't know anything about V1. But he says that Marathon may know about it, so we get the big supernatural reunion with Jared Padalecki, and I don't remember I know his first name, Mika, but the guy who played Castiel. So yeah, we have like the supernatural reunion here. And then when we get to Jared's house, his name is Marathon. He was previously in the 7 before A-Train replaced him. and he has a kind of chip on his shoulder when it comes to Homelander, but he's been doing B-list movies with other productions. He's been doing pretty well for himself, but basically he is also an allegory for P. Diddy because he has a bunch of baby oil in the secret vault room. But him and Homelander and Soldier Boy come to his house. You see Seth Rogen, you see Camille, you see McLovin, you see all these actors who are just there for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I guess they wanted to justify the budget, but yeah, they're all there trying to gather information. They say that one of the heroes does have V1 and he'll be here soon, just has to wait for him to come and get his supply of drugs. And while Marathon and Soldier Boy are talking, they're making fun of Homelander. You can see he's just sitting down, looking deeply pissed off as everyone tries to talk to him. And I'm just like, guys, look at him. He does not want to interact with any of you. Just leave him alone. But yeah, they're like making fun of him. And I'm like, this guy has super hearing. He can hear everything you're saying. So at some point, he just gets fed up with everything. He says he's going to leave and he's going to basically put them all in their internment camps because of the memes and the sharing of the derogatory posts to him. Then Mika's character comes up and gasses him, which automatically puts him down. Like, this is Homelander and he's treated like such a joke at this point. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we've seen him just basically get defeated in some way or another by weaker just heroes in so many ways. Like, Mika's character just blows gas in his face and he automatically falls down. I mean, this is a guy who can literally slam into a train and take it like it's nothing, but a simple gas attack just like puts him down. But yeah, and then basically Marathon is trying to convince Soldier Boy to kill him, saying that he's a waste of space, he's destroying everything, he's putting everyone in internment camps, he's gonna make sex and abortion illegal. And at this point, Soldier Boy's just like, he's my son. He doesn't say it like that, but he's like, he's my asexual weirdo. So he's kind of like, I don't know, like, it's really weird. Like, he's starting to gain a connection with Homelander. It's like these two fight all the time. They betray one another all the time. But at that point, Soldier Boy refuses. One by one, he kills everyone in the room by using Marathon to run through them as human shields. And eventually, he disables him by using the oil found in his vault room, which, again, I don't know why this guy ran inside. He should have known 2 and 2 together, but it could have been the cocaine that he was snorting with Soldier Boy that affected his judgment. Regardless, he runs in, tells him, yes, this guy does have the V1. At that point, Homelander comes to and kills him, and then he asks Soldier Boy, why did he help? And he's just like, whatever. And that's basically it. The V1 isn't here, it's in another castle. They have to wait until the next episode. And the episode ends with basically Firecracker getting destroyed. I know I hinted at that, it was pretty obvious, but I think all of us knew that Firecracker was going to die eventually. Like, she was one of Homelander's biggest confidants, and once he found out that they were sleeping together, her and Soldier Boy, that was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Granted, he was also very annoyed that she doesn't really see him as a god. He senses it in her heart, and every single time he tries to walk away, she keeps coming back to him, pushing him and being like, I love you, you're my god, I care so much about him. And then eventually he just gets fed up and just throws her head into a bronze eagle. I'm like, dude, let him leave. You've seen this guy kill people for less. But she dies in the end, and that's kind of it. Like, this entire episode is just like the previous episode. It's nothing but filler. The Firecracker thing could have been literally a subplot in one of the main episodes, but you've had 2 episodes like this so far, and you have 3 episodes left. So I don't know what exactly is going on here, because it feels like it's going to be another Game of Thrones situation. It also feels like the previous episode where that writer was like, you try wrapping up all these characters into one single thing. And I think that's what they are trying to do, where they give everyone a chance at the spotlight, whether it's Starlight and her family, Black Noir and his acting career, all of this, but it's just coming together in a very mishmash kind of way. Like, they don't really have an end goal. Like, I don't know if Amazon just said it has to be done in 8 episodes, or if they just have no idea how to create a coherent final season, because it definitely feels that way. I feel like the last 3 episodes are just going to go 1,000 miles per hour to try and get everything together, because they still don't have the V1. And whether that's going to be a paramount aspect in this series, I don't know. Like, it's right now just all over the place. It's insanity, and it's just filler after filler. So right now, it doesn't look good. Like, I really think that this episode just really set the lowest bar when it comes to my expectations for the series finale. And if the next episode does not pick up, does not literally try and further the story with the V1 and Soldier Boy's relationship with Homelander, instead of going back and forth, first they care about each other, next they're betraying each other, then they care about each other. It's just like, guys, pick a lane. But I really hope we don't get another one of this. Like, you guys gotta pick up, because 2 episodes of this, it's getting bad. And enough with the people making really, really dumb decisions. Like, come on, you're expecting me to believe that Frenchie, of all people, didn't know dumping a chocolate souffle in the trash can next to a dog wouldn't lead to him eating it. Like, I'm just like, I know they were trying to say, oh, like, he's so dumb he can't take care of plants. This is just common sense. Like, it's literally just like, even children could figure it out. I know, it's just like, guys. And then Black Noir walking into the theater after he completely just side crossed the deep. He didn't expect that he would literally follow you. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like everyone just acts stupid on purpose. Not to mention Sister Sage's entire plan to kill everyone on the planet, to be alone forever, not knowing that eventually you're gonna go insane when you don't have anyone to talk to. I don't know. Like, it just, all of this just comes down to so much crap. But tell me what you think in the comments below. I really hope this picks up, because right now it's not looking good.